Good morning. I tried to tell them they would just let me get on with that song. I'd make it sound like something.
We'll go to that.
You go there? That's good. Well, one of these days, I know it was something about something.
We'll go there.
We'll go with that too. All right. Y'all bear with me. I am struggling, but we'll get through this morning. Now, what we're going to get through, I have no idea. We'll get through it. Glad to be in the Lord's house with you today. Glad to see all of you here today. I started coming down with this mess last night, and of course I feel like I got a head full of socks. If anybody can understand what I'm talking about, Rebecca's saying she can understand. Billy can understand. We've got 2 people out. Just had 2 people this past week at work out with the flu, and our offices are very close. So that's not what it is. I'm just hoping and praying that it's just Paul or whatever. Really, I want to talk to you this morning about some stuff. This morning's message is going to be a little different than normal. I don't know if I do have a norm, but this morning's message is going to be a little different. It's going to be more of a kind of a learning experience, I hope, for all of us. I've definitely learned a lot in doing the study and everything for it, but today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people really don't know what it is, and that's love. A lot of people use the word love, but a lot of people don't really understand what the word love is, or what love does, or how love happens and things of that nature. Don't look for a whole lot of hollering and jumping up and down, and Jackson, there's no need to get excited. We're going to just kind of sit here this morning, and if you need any pointers, Jan and Matt's going to help you. If you need to understand any of this stuff, so it's going to be all right. Marcia has volunteered a little bit later on in the sermon to have a message, have a question appointed to her during the message, so she can be prepared for that. She volunteered and Perry can say anything. I'm going to be Tyler on today. I ain't going to bother Tyler, so everybody can have a good day. Who said that? Now, see that? And Perry just made himself open as well. This morning we'll talk about 3 types of love. And we've heard them used, we've heard the names, we've heard them explained. But I'm just going to try to share something with y'all this morning. There's a lot of the word love being used today for the wrong reasons. There's a lot of the word being used today that is love that's used for personal gain. And there's very little of love anymore that's due to unselfishness rather than selfishness. And unfortunately, a lot of us use the word love and we all fall short, very short, of what God's real love is. So y'all just bear with me this morning. I'm going to try to get through this, and I want you to not necessarily turn to the Bibles right now. We will be later on in 8:32 of Romans. We'll be there in a little bit. But right now, I just want to kind of break down the 3 different types of love. We're going to talk about each one of these for a little bit. Like I said, I hope that somebody gets a little bit better understanding of how you break down love, the different types of love this morning. First of all, this morning we're going to be talking about the word called eros, or eros, or how you want to pronounce it. South End State, I'm going to say eros. It's easy for me. North End State, y'all call it what you want to. But eros love is sexual in nature that is only comprised of physical sensations. That's all it is. Eros love is sexual in nature and only comprised of physical sensations. Now, this is what I want to get into. Each one of these we're going to break down just a little bit. We're going to talk about. There are many parts of the human body that has to do with eros love. Many parts. And guys and gals both. This whole sermon this morning is directed at everybody in here. But in eros love, there are many parts of the human body that come into play. There's a lot of what we see. There's a lot of what we desire. There's a lot of what we think would please us. There's a lot of grasping for. There's a lot of lusting after. There's a lot of infatuation. I mean, come on, we were all kids and teenagers at one time. Some of us still are now. We know that infatuation is permanent. Is infatuation really permanent? No. It's just a poof, and then the next thing you got the next infatuation. Then the next thing you got the next infatuation. All this, in a sense, in a form, is a part of eros love. Many parts of the body are looked at, looked upon, gawked after, lusting after during this time of love. And I want to talk about one part of the human body that is put to the side, and that's the heart. The heart is never thought about during Eros love. Eros love is a very selfish love. Eros love is a very much, I want to fulfill my own desires. I want to fulfill my own requests. I want to see what I want to see. I want to take part in what I want to take part in. I want to be fulfilled in this way. I want to be looked after this way. I want to be involved in something that is not decent at best. Eros love generally comes between two people that some even they may not even know each other. You know what? You can live in a house with somebody and not know them. Relationships can only be, for some people, just Eros love. And I'm telling you, it can be a very, very bad thing. Eros love, and I'm gonna talk to the girls this morning. The girls that are sitting in here, raise your hand if you're less than 25 years old and not married. Raise your hand if you're less than 25 years old and not married. Girl. All right, I got Caitlin, I got Karen, and I got Felicia. Anybody else? Anybody else? Let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you right now. For those of you that do know, great. For those of you that don't, as much as you want people to see you for who you really are, people are going to see you for what they want to see in you. They're going to want to see in you the ability for them to fulfill the desire that they have. That's Eros love. Love has nothing to do. Eros love has nothing to do with the heart of man. If Caitlin, if some little boy is looking at you in school, and for whatever reason he ever walks up to you and says that he loves you, run, run, just as fast as your little legs will take you. Just run, and Mary said, don't look back. Run. Eros love is a love that is based off of human desire. Human desire. Okay? We're going to talk about it. The heart has been excommunicated from the equation when a man, young or old, or woman, young or old, looks at someone to the point of sin. Now, this is where we may raise some questions. Well, how do I look at somebody to the point of sin? Well, everybody in here, in some form or fashion, has got their own description of sin when it comes to this. Okay? Unfortunately, everybody's don't exactly agree with everybody else. So, okay. Let's talk about that for just a second. At what point do you think looking at somebody becomes a sin? I'm not asking for anybody to answer it, but I want to explain it to you in this way. When the attitude changes from complimentary towards the person being looked at to selfish desire from the one doing the looking. Simply put, the second look. The second look. Now, I want to explain something to you. If I were to see, just say for instance, this is the first time I come to this church. And I come to this church and I sit there and I talk with Perry, I talk with Billy Joe and Bug, Mr. Bill, I've met the deacons and everybody. And I come in and I'm sitting down this Sunday morning, and this is the first Sunday I've been here. I've come and met with them, but I haven't met anybody yet. And I'm going to pick on Felicia right now. Felicia get picked on for the next 2 minutes. I'm sitting in here, and the people are starting to come into church. All right? And I'm up here, and I'm talking to Billy Joe, and I'm talking to Buck, Perry, Mr. Bill, and Felicia comes in the door. I see Felicia walk down the aisle. She turns and goes to back to the fellowship hall. Now, men can say whatever they want to, but a true man has a desire to look at a nice looking woman. It is a desire that is in men to look. And I've even had people ask me on the job before, Marty, how do you keep from looking at women in a lustful way? This is how I do it. If Felicia were to come in and come walking by, I would say, that is a very pretty girl right there. And I would leave it there. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging how nice someone looks. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that God has blessed someone with a beauty that is above average. The problem is, who are we to make that judgment? Everybody that walks in the door is a nice looking girl. Every young man that comes in the door is a handsome young man as far as God's concerned. So where we have to be so very, very careful is I can't pick out Felicia more than I could anybody else that ever walks in this church. And the day that I start doing that, the day that I look at somebody in this church in a way other than just acknowledging them as a person that was created by God, is to say, you need to get me out of here. Because I've just become something that you don't need me to be. But it's the second look, folks. It's the second look. It's where sin, that's where Satan gets his opportunity to come right in. You ride down the road, you see a nice looking woman dressed very nice, walking down the side of the road. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging the fact that that's a nice looking woman. She's got a nice figure, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. But go about the business. Becky could be sitting right next to me. I could make a comment like that. Nothing, no big deal. Sometimes she'll even make it before I will. There's nothing wrong in acknowledging something in conversation. But when I'm driving down the road and I do that, guess who sees it? Becky does. Guess who already knows my heart before I ever turn my head? God. He knows my heart. You know, this past Vacation Bible School had a verse in it. And it talks about searching my heart. It talks about God. Look inside me and see what I got going on inside me. Well, let me tell you something. When I get ready to take that second look back and I look again, I'm not looking as a compliment anymore. I'm not complimenting the lady, what she has on, how she's dressed, the way her hair is fixed, the way her makeup is. The look back is a desire. It's went from complimenting her to satisfying me. That right there is when the sin comes in and the sin takes place. And I really don't even understand how you can call it love, if you really want to know the truth of the matter. But that is Eros love. Eros love, and remember this. I hope you never forget what I'm fixing to say. This is for boys and girls, men's and women's. Eros love causes errors in our relationship. Eros love causes errors in our relationship. And I'm going to go on and be honest with you. I used to think years ago that it was always the men that done this. Let me tell you something, it's not. Too many times in my life I had to fight women off me. It's just, you know, when me and Becky went out the first time, I knew that night that we were together at the VFW with the dim lights that she was checking out my abs. And I love her so much, I give her more of a thing. What I've done. My wife loves my abs. But the point of that is this. It's so easy for sin to take place. So when that guy walked up to me and said, how do you do it? How are you a pastor of the church? And how do you keep them looking at women? I give God his glory first. I give him the glory in that he has created a beautiful person. That's what I do. You know what? I leave it alone after that. Does it not mean that there are some people that are classified as more pretty than others? There will always be classifications of people. As long as we live and walk on the face of this earth, there will always be classifications of people. If it wasn't so, women wouldn't do their best to look their best. If it wasn't so, men wouldn't do what they do to look the way they look. For those that care, for those that don't, it don't matter one way or another. But the point of the matter, in God's eye, we're all beautiful. And in God's eye, he died on the cross for every one of us. He didn't pick and choose. We don't have a right to pick and choose. We need to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. The next type of love I want to talk about is phileo love. Phileo. Phileo love is the love of brotherly affection. There's a city in the United States that gets its name from phileo love. Anybody tell me what it is? What you guys got?
Philadelphia.
Very good. It's known as the city of brotherly love. Now, this is, this part right here is going to probably be a little bit confusing for some of you. But hey, that's what I'm here for. We want to talk about this. We want to get this out open, especially tonight. There's going to be a lot to talk about tonight. This is a love of brotherly affection. Phileo love is a love of brotherly affection. As far as love goes, check this out now. As far as love goes, this is the highest form of love that we can give without the influence of God. Okay? This is the highest form of love we can give without the influence of God. Can a man love his wife? Sure. Sure he can. Can a man have eros love for his wife? Sure. Can a man have phileo love for his wife? Sure. Can it go any further than that if neither one of them ever know Christ? No. It stops right there. All right, let me explain something to you about phileo love. Where eros is a type of selfish love, phileo can be quite unselfish. Be quite unselfish. Even the unsaved can have phileo love. It would be hard to argue that a mother's love for her child is probably the strongest human love that we can think of. All right, I mean, I'm not knocking y'all. Okay, please don't take this the wrong way. Please don't take it the wrong way. But let's look at what the world shows us. How many kids have a mother but no father? Think about that. They've got somebody that birthed them. They've got somebody that donated. But how many of them really have a father? A mother's love for her child is something that I cannot comprehend. I don't know the depth of that love as far as the human nature is concerned. I've never given birth to a child. I've never actually fathered a child. So I'm really not that, I just can't comprehend how a mother could love their child so deeply. That's a comprehension I can't come up with. So if I say something that don't make sense, I probably don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to try to watch what I say. A mother's love for her child is an intimate love. It's a very deep love. And it's a very, very unselfish love. Now, when I say unselfish, how many mothers have sacrificed for the well-being of their own children? And you can't tell me that mothers don't have more phileo love for their own children than the majority of fathers. I'm saying majority. I'm saying majority. I do not doubt any father in this church that loves their children. I don't doubt that at all. I've seen it, okay? I've seen what happens when things are not right. But there's no way men in general can have the same concept and ability of phileo love for their children as the mothers do. It's just not there. There's too many men that walk away. So I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell each and every one of you right now. If you are the father of a child in here today, you are blessed beyond understanding if you still have your child in your life and if you are still a father of a child in your life. You're blessed. You know why? Because the world is becoming more full of children that do not have fathers. You are very blessed to have children. God has given you something. But even at that, if you don't know the Lord, the most you can ever offer that child is phileo love. Let's talk about phileo love for just a minute. Let's talk about it for just a little bit and again and break this down. Phileo love is in the home, it's in the household, but it also reaches out further. It reaches out to people that are in church together. If Ron were to call me up right now and he had a problem with something and he needed something, and I was able to go and help him. The main thing I'm doing right now, if I'm going to look upon Ron with phileo love, is I've got to want to go and help him do something this is very important, without expecting any results. That's what makes the difference. People that love Just to be loved in return is loving for the wrong reason. If Ron needs me to do something for him, he calls me up and says, Marty, I need this. You're down there in Warrenton. Will you go and check on this for me? Can you do this for me? Will you do that for me? And I say yes. And I go do it, and I call him up, and I give him, or I go somewhere and do this for him, or whatever like that, and I say yes. And he says, I appreciate it. And I don't expect anything from it. That's a form of phileo love. But if Ron calls me up and says, Marty, you down there in Warrenton, I need you to go check on this for me, and I take off, and I go do it, and I come back and say, all right, Ron, I got what you need, all right, now what do I get this? Some people don't understand that God gives us sometimes the ability to serve others. And if we ever serve others expecting something in return, we're not serving others, we're trying to serve ourselves. The Good Samaritan, perfect opportunity for phileo love. Now my wife still cringes when I come over to help somebody. If I call her on the phone and tell her I pulled over to help somebody, then she cringes. But you know what? I look at it like this. I know Christ is my Lord and Savior. And if something happens to me while I'm helping somebody else, then that's where I'm supposed to be when my Lord takes me home. I ain't saying you got to walk downtown in the middle of the night handing out pamphlets at a crack house. That's not what I'm talking about. You just being foolish then. But pulling over the side of the road to help somebody is a form of phileo love. And it is a beautiful thing if it takes place when God's got something to do with it. So there's nothing wrong with helping each other. But you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is in church? Our ability to have phileo love for one another is the same thing, is hindered by something else, just like the eros love is hindered by. Our ability is hindered by our willingness to choose upon ourselves who we want to help. We have those that we want to help. We have those that we don't want to help. And you know what? God don't see it that way. God sees it as we should help all. We should help others, and we should be there for others. No stronger bond on earth than between a mother and a child. But even that, without Jesus, is still a disconnected love. Did you understand that? You understand that? You understand that? Do you realize I didn't know how to love my wife until I knew Christ? I did not know how to love my wife until I knew Christ. Before I knew Christ, I definitely had an eros love for her, and I definitely had phileo love for her. But I didn't understand either one of them. And the intimacy that comes with knowing Christ as Savior first, and Him being your first love. Because if you can learn to love Him, then everything else just falls in place. Eros love is sexual, phileo love is brotherly. And what I want to go into now is I want to go into agape. I know a lot of people have heard of agape. As a matter of fact, there are ministries called agape ministries. A lot of people like to use the word agape. They like to, unfortunately, sometimes they use it in the wrong way. But you know what agape is? It's a caring or godly concern for someone, even if you do not know him or her or like him or her. Agape love is unconditional and is not based off results from the one who receives it. I want to say that again. Agape love is unconditional and is not based off results from the one who receives it. To use the words from someone that we all know and dearly love, Paul Revere, God loves me in spite of myself. God loves me in spite of myself. In spite of who I am, in spite of who I used to be, in spite of who I am, and in spite of who I'm going to become, God still loves me. And you know what? It doesn't matter if I'm saved or lost. God still loves me. You know why? God didn't send Jesus to this world to die for the people that loved Him. He sent Jesus to this world to die for the people that didn't love Him, so that they could come to love Him through the sacrifice that Jesus made on the cross. You got to think about people miss the point of church. If they come to church thinking that it's just a series of events that takes place. And we should just come in and believe in these series of events. And we should just accept it for what it was. And we should just come down to the altar and we should ask Jesus for our Savior. If they just come in and they go through the motions of all this, where's the intimacy? Let me ask you this. When's the last time you had an intimate moment with God? Think about that. All of you who sit in here today, me included, all of you that sit or standing here today, when's the last time you had an intimate moment with God? When's the last time you felt His love for you? And don't be coming to me all sideways talking about, well, we had this going on in life, and I prayed about it, and God answered my prayer. I'm not talking about an answered prayer. I'm talking about when's the last time you felt God's love. You think about it. Think about it. A lot of the way you feel God's love is how intimate you allow yourself to become with God. Think about it that way. So let's talk about something right quick. We're fixing to go to our verses here in just a minute. But I want to talk about two different types of love right now. We've talked about the eros love, the phileo love, and agape. Agape is a sacrificial love. Sacrificial. But check this out. If you want to write this down, you can. If not, I've got the notes you can have. We can make copies down your copy machine. It works great. Love without action is non-deserving of reaction. Love without action is non-deserving of a reaction. Okay, for your young girls in here today. For your young girls that are in here today. I'm not going to ask you if you've ever had a young boy to tell you he loves you. I'm not going to ask that. Wouldn't dare. But if you had, and ones I've been around, back when I was a teenager in the whole 9 yards, a lot of the things that a lot of the young girls like to hang on is the fact that they love to hear the boy tell them that they love them. That's important to them. It means that they have accomplished something in the relationship. They've taken a step to have the boy tell them that they love them. For a man, the hardest thing in the world to do is to tell someone that they love them. Men just ain't geared that way. Women desire to be said that they love, and men try to run away from it. It just ain't something that men do. That's why I say right now, you won't know a Christian man. If a Christian man is too proud to tell another man that's a brother of his that he loves him, you probably ain't dealing with a Christian man. Because if you know God loves you, can tell anybody that you love them. But check this out, for you young girls, and if you've ever had a desire, or if you've ever had that warm and fuzzy when somebody tells you, when a boy tells you that they love you, let's look into it and let's see what kind of love we're really talking about here. Marsha. I couldn't wait. Marsha, how long have you been married to date before he said he loved you?
6 months.
6 months? Like 6 months. 6 months. Now, you were probably grasping for this for quite some time. Probably, I'd say after the first 2 or 3 weeks, you would probably say, oh, I wish he just didn't love me. Days? That days. After the first 2 or 3 days, Marsha had begun to grasp at the concept of, oh, I wish Perry would tell me he loved me. I wish Perry would tell me he loved me. I so desire for Perry to tell me that he loves me. I just know he loves me. He can't help it. I mean, I'm me. I'm Marsha. I'm the one that's who I am. I'm the one that smiles all the time, and I'm the one that's always bubbly, and I'm the one that no matter what's going on, I've got a good attitude. I know that he loves me. He can't run away from that. He's got to love me. When is he going to tell me he loves me? I know Perry loves me. Well, let's say that this goes on for a while, and she desires. And she desires Perry. And it is nothing about the eros love. It's just she wants Perry to tell her that he loves her. And it goes on and on and on. And Perry finally, one day, as they're sitting at a Dairy Queen somewhere looking across the Sunday at each other, Marsha's sitting there, she's got that same smile across her face. And she's bubbling, and she's talking about somebody. And it's all good. And Perry just looks at it, and he can't help it no more. He breaks down. He's got one little tiny tear that comes out of his eyes. And he says, Marsha. He He says, I just been wanting to tell you for a long time, I don't like chocolate. No, I'm telling you. He says, I just want to let you know that I love you. At that point, Marshall now, everything changes. Harry has taken control of the situation. He is the man, he has stepped up, he has stood up, and he's told Marshall that he loves her. Well, at that point, she's just ecstatic. The next thing you know, after he tells her that the first time, she's thinking wedding bells, she's thinking how much she got stuck in the closet somewhere she can decorate with. She's thinking about all this stuff. She's thinking about all this stuff. Can we slap you and Stephen? Don't be sitting there talking about letting me all sideways. Don't even dare. Don't even dare. Don't dare look at me like that. So Perry says he loves her. And then the dating goes on, Now check this out. Somebody call him. This starts a relationship. Now, are relationships supposed to grow or flatten? They're supposed to grow. Perry tells Marsha he loves her. Marsha's happy that he's told her that. As a matter of fact, they go on, they date for a little while, and they end up getting married. And Perry becomes this person that comes in the afternoon, just sits down in his recliner, and every afternoon when Marsha comes home from work, he looks at her and he says, I love you. And she says, I love you too. And the next day, she walks in and Perry's sitting in that recliner, and he says, I love you. And she says, I love you. And this goes on for a few weeks, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. He tells her he loves her. She says, oh, I love you too. And the whole time, the grass is growing. And then the whole time, the trash is getting higher and higher. And the whole time, the plaster on the wall still needs fixing. And the whole time, the light bulb in there in the room needs changing. And all this stuff is going on in her life. So Marsha comes in, and one day, Perry says, I love you. And she says, I love you too, but, But Perry, do you realize that we can no longer see the goats in the front yard? Because they can't keep the grass eat up fast enough that you let it grow. Or do you realize that we didn't have a light bulb in the bathroom for the last 6 months? Let me ask something. If love without action deserves no reaction, then is it really love at all? Girls, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about sacrifice. Let me tell you something about hormones. If a young man tells you he loves you, and he's willing to sacrifice himself and his desires to stay with you, his sacrifice is an action. You think about that. And boys, I'm talking to y'all too. Don't play with the word love. Don't use it for personal gain. Don't use it in a way that it becomes something that regresses instead of progressing. If you're going to use that word, if you're ever going to use the word love, you need to be able to do something right after you say it, and that's sacrifice. Because I'm going to tell you something. Love comes with actions. And the love that has actions demands reactions. God says in His Word in John 3:16, for God so loved the world that He gave. That's what it says. It didn't say, for God so loved the world that He had a son one day, and the son come here and spent a little while with us, and He finally died on the cross because that was what He was supposed to do. It don't say that. It says, for God so loved the world that He gave His son to die for us. Because God loves us in a way that we can't comprehend. You know, like I said earlier, about I can't comprehend a mother's love for a child. I'm not geared that way. I don't understand. I can't comprehend it. Well, none of us in here can understand the love that God has for each and every one of us. And until you take your last breath, that love is still being extended to you so that you may accept him as Lord and Savior. There's two other verses let's look at. Turn them, if you will, if you're not already turned there. Turn to Romans 8:32. When you get to Romans 8:32, go back and turn to 5:8. Romans 8:32. And then Romans 5:8. Romans 8:32. Hold it and go to Romans 5:8. Romans 8:32 says this: He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? Romans 5:8 says this, and a lot of people in here should know this verse. Romans 5:8 says, but God demonstrates his love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ done something too. You know what he done? He died for us. We've got two forms of love. God loves you and Jesus loves you. God gave Jesus to us and Christ died for us. And we sit here and we use the word love so loosely and so easily that we never think about what real love actually means. I'm going to go ahead and say this. As you sit here today, this may be the last day that you ever sit on this earth. We know right now where there's a child, a baby, that's fixing to have some very serious surgery. I can't imagine what the mother's going through. I don't know the mother, but let me tell you something. If she has any love in her at all, I can't imagine what she's going through. I can't imagine seeing Logan, Colin, Casey, Tanner. I can't imagine an infant being cut on so that a doctor can go inside their little tiny body and fix them. I can't comprehend that. But God watched his own son beat to a pulp, spit on, drugged, whipped. The whip had lead in the end of it. And when the whip would hit the back, they would drag it. And the lead would bite in and pull the meat. This verse says that God demonstrates, he shows us that he loves us. He didn't just say he loves us. He shows us that he loves us. And each breath that we have right now still demonstrates God's love for us. Because if he didn't love us, we wouldn't be here. He'd have wiped us off the face of the earth, and we'd have been nothing but a smudge somewhere in some mud. If he didn't still love us. I'm telling you right now, you have a day, you have this day to come to know your Savior and Lord Jesus Christ. You have this day, and you're not guaranteed tomorrow. God still demonstrates his love for you by giving you this day. I'm not trying to push anybody to do anything, but I'm telling you something. If you walk out here today and you don't know him as Lord and Savior, you better be very careful how you use the word love next time. Because you don't know love until you know Jesus' love. Let's pray.